everybody, it's BC. Welcome back to part 4. Now we have color corrected it. We have set our printer up. We printed it out. And now we are going to press it. So in this video, we're just going to go over to the red Llama heat press. And we are going to turn it on. And we're going to set it up. So what I'm going to be doing, kind of just like a quick overview. The first thing we're going to do is set the pressure. You want the pressure to be light. You don't want to be too heavy. From my basic standpoint, I usually twist it about 4 or 5 times, and that gives me enough pressure to lock it down to the magnet so it auto opens, but it also gives it nice, light, consistent pressure. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The second thing you want to set it up for is your temperature. I suggest 375 degrees, guys, instead of 400. 400 tends to be a little bit hot. I've noticed a lot more scorching on garments if you go 400. I brought it back down. I had gotten together with another guy that used to work in pre-press as well. I'm an old pre-press manager, so I have a ton of experience dealing with a lot of problems in printing. So temperature seems to be a big one with certain types of materials. And you just don't want to scorch the material, especially when you're throwing the pressure. That's why you want light pressure too. If it's too heavy of a pressure, and if it's too hot, you're going to leave a mark around where the press was, and usually you'll scorch it. Especially if it's white, you'll see a definite discoloration. You don't want that. So 375 at 80 seconds. That is how long we're going to do it, 80 seconds. Again, if you watch the very first video in this, I'll put it up here, guys. I go over, everyone has a different setup. Okay, everyone has a different scenario. And that's what's a little bit confusing and hard about sublimation versus HTV on a Cricut. Cricut, you don't have to worry about color correction. You don't have to worry about any of that. As long as you can get it in there and find the cuts, it's going to cut it fine. And you're going to have pretty consistent results because most people use the same heat transfer vinyl, usually Easy Weed. I'm actually going to be doing a video on another one that I just got called StarCraft Soft Flex. Really good, really good. I'm very impressed on that one. So I'm going to do a video on that. But anyway, with sublimation, everyone has their own setup. So please be aware you might have to add or subtract more time. I definitely suggest keeping it at 375 degrees. I wouldn't go hotter than that. But you might want to add 20 seconds maybe to get a little bit more of a pressing, or subtract a little bit if it seems like it's going a little bit too much on the browns where the blacks are. Okay. So anyway, let's hop into it. You'll be able to see it go all the way from the beginning to end. And then we have another video after this that we'll talk about. If you could, guys, hit the like and subscribe if these videos have been informative and helpful to you. And also we have a Facebook group called Heat Press Creators. It's free to join. Feel free to head on over there. We are going to be posting all the tutorials over there. And we're also going to be doing giveaways, posting coupons, deals, that kind of stuff. So anyway, stay tuned. We're going to hop into it right now. Okay, so we're here at the red Llama heat press. I love this machine. The first thing we're going to have to do before we turn it on is get the pressure right. So right here is the pressure knob. Right now it's set to 0. So I'm going to give it about 4 or 5 twists to get it where I need the pressure to be, which gives enough resistance for the auto open to properly work. And it also will not put too much pressure on the shirt. So anyway, let's turn this puppy on. And now we're going to set the actual temperature and time. I'm going to set it to 375 degrees, and we're going to do it for 80 seconds. Okay, so first we want to put a bottom layer of newsprint paper. I put my blowout paper, I use newsprint. You can use butcher paper as well. Just make sure there's no wax on it. Now we're going to lay down our shirt, and we're going to do a quick pre-press. I already lint rolled it. Now, this is a 65% polyester, 35% cotton shirt that I get from Bella Canvas. It's one of my more favorite shirts because it still has a cotton feel to it. What I'm going to be doing now is putting in another piece of blowout paper, which is just plain newsprint they use for packing for a move. I get it at U-Haul. And I'm going to put a sheet now in the middle of the shirt. So there's one on the bottom, one now in the middle. I adjust the shirt, and now I'm going to do a quick pre-press to get any moisture out of the shirt. And that's going to take a quick 5 seconds here so we can press it. Now on this red Llama, there's a little emergency release button on the right, and that's how I get to release it just after 5 seconds. So that way it doesn't mess with the timer. But anyway, so I released it. Also, make sure you hit the red button again to reset it before you put the actual press. But anyway, so let's readjust this shirt. And we're now going to put the artwork. So here was our print. We're going to just flip it upside down now. We're going to line it up with the collar. I usually do 4 fingers from the bottom collar to the top of the artwork. That usually gives a pretty nice placement for most artwork. So I'm just going to line it up. Luckily, because it's such a rectangle, it's very easy actually to line up on these larger presses. The 16 by 20 presses are really easy to line things up where you don't have to take it onto another table or try to line it up that way. Anyway, once you get it lined up, now you're going to use some heat tape. Now you can get heat tape off of Amazon or Heat Press Nation or any other place that might sell heat tape. But anyway, you want to tack it down a little bit so that way it's not going to move when you're pressing it. Okay. You go ahead and move that out of the way. And then we have just one final piece of blowout paper that's now going to go on top of this. And that's there mainly to protect your heat plate on the top of your press. Okay. So here's one more sheet. We're just going to put it right on top. And now we are ready to press, guys. I'm just going to kind of make sure it's in the right area, make sure everything looks good. Let's slide this back in underneath the heat press, and let's give it a whirl. All right, so now we're going to just bring down the platen, and it's going to start the timer automatically, and then we'll automatically open when it's done. That is if you're using this. If not, you're going to have to manually open it and set it down. So anyway, start the timer, and there it goes. And now it's counting down the 80 seconds, and I'll be right back. And it's finished, and there it pops open for you. Let's take a look here, and we got everything pressed. We can take off the blowout paper, and now we can just pull up what it is. Let's pull this up really quick, and there you go. The sublimation transferred, and we are looking good. That looks great. Totally stoked on the results there. All right, cool. So now we're ready to go. We can now pack this up and send it to a client. All right, guys, so there you go. We pressed the shirt, okay? This how it came out. Looks pretty good. I'm totally stoked on how it came out. Now, I like these particular shirts. This is a Bella canvas. I think it's called a viscose. I can't remember the name of it. But it's a 65-35%. So 65% poly, 35% cotton. I like it because it has a very vintagey feel to it. 100% polyester shirts are going to be definitely more vibrant probably than this, probably a little bit more of the pop. But I personally, on my own personal level, for the brands that I kind of put out, I kind of like this. It reminds me very much of a 90s kind of feel to it. And it looks and it feels so nice. That's the thing you're going to love about the sublimation, guys. Feel it. It just feels nice. You won't feel any pigment. It's going to last really well during the washes as well. So anyway, we have this one done. We have one more video. Okay, so you've made the shirt. You're stoked. You want to send it to somebody. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I have one last video. It's a short one. It's going to come on right after this. We basically are just going to pack this up and send it. And this is just how I pack things up and send them to customers, so that way you maybe have a complete idea that if you're trying to start a home business doing t-shirts, whether it be on Etsy or if you're trying to just sell through a website or maybe you're selling to friends, I don't know. But this is just a good way just to send it out so it looks professional when they receive it, gives you kind of a good name and makes your brand look pretty nice. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe if you could. Always helps us out to know that you are enjoying the content and what content I should continue to be making. So also feel free to comment down below, guys, if you have any questions about what you've seen. Also head on over to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Heat Press Creators, free to join. Feel free to hop on over there and join on in. We're going to start doing giveaways here pretty soon. We just started it. So when we hit 250 members, which is hopefully soon, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a cup that is, I am a Heat Press Creator cup. So anyway, it was fun, guys. This was the first series on let's make something. And so this one was let's sublimate a shirt. The next one, I'm thinking we're going to probably be doing let's sublimate maybe a mug. Maybe I'll do that next. We'll sublimate a mug. And we'll also do some HTV too, because I don't want to leave the HTV people out at all, because I still love HTV, guys. And so we'll go over that in another video. But anyway, thanks a lot for staying tuned. And I'll be posting up new videos as soon as I can. All right? Thanks a lot.